Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining the second edition of Time with the CEO. So to begin with, um, I want to find out, Daniel, if you can hear me, please say hi so we can continue.
I hear you.
Thank you very much. Good. So gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. Thank you all so much for joining our second edition of Time with the CEO with us once again. My name is Emma Somiakwao, the co-head of sales here at Databank, and I'll be your moderator for this morning's edition. Welcome on board. So to begin with, I will invite Madame Divina Corte, our portfolio manager, to do the opening prayer for us. Divina.
Thank you, Emma, and good morning to you all. Please let's pray. Our Lord and Master Jesus, we thank you so much for today. We bless your holy name for giving us the opportunity to see this day and to meet to discuss issues concerning the Databank Mutual Fund. We ask that you continue to steer the affairs of the Databank managed funds to the mutual benefit of all shareholders. This and many other blessings we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Divina. Okay, so officially, once again, thank you all for joining us. As I mentioned earlier on, gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. This is to say thank you so much for making time to spend your morning with us. The first edition, you were fantastic, you were awesome. And this second round too, you are here in your numbers. We are grateful. So today, once again, we are here to interact with you, to give you updates on what is happening in the industry, to also take your questions and give you the needed responses to them. And this will be done by no other person than our chief servant here at Databank. So we intend not to waste so much of your time, but then we'll zoom straight into why we are here this morning. So this section will be very engaging. Feel free and use the Q&A button to ask any questions you have. Our team will be there to give you responses. And when it is also time, we will open the floor for you to ask any questions that bothers your mind. We are here for you this morning, and it is because of you we are here this Wednesday morning. So relax and have a seat and enjoy the program. Well, so our host to interact with us needs no introduction, but for the benefit of those who haven't met him before or seen him before, he is a seasoned banker for over 20 years, and he has a lot of experiences when it comes to financial matters. And he also has a social life as well. And one of the things that we will remember him for or still stick to him is the love he has for football. And until now, he's the only person in Ghana who loves Liverpool, and red flows in his blood. And also a diehard fan of Asante Kotoko. This man understands football. He eats, he talks football, and as well talks finances. He's the one everybody loves and everybody wants to follow and listen to. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we present to you our passionate CEO, the person of Kojo Addae-Mensah, to take the floor and have this engaging section with us. Kojo, good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much, Emma. Your introduction is a wow introduction. Thank you. I'll briefly go on camera, just briefly, so that at least those who may have not seen me before will know, put a face to the name. So yeah, that's me now wearing spectacles, now gray. And Emma, I think I've crossed 25 years in banking now.
Wow.
It's no more than 20. It's now more than 25. So, yes, right. I'm truly Liverpool. As you can see behind me, I have a Liverpool thing up there, and we've won the league. So anyway, Thank you all for joining. I'll go off video briefly now so that the network is good. But essentially, the purpose of this meeting is to interact with our clients and to be able to also listen to our clients, their concerns, any suggestions they may have, in a way to improve things. But it's also extremely important because the rumor mill is always out there, and I think it's very important to come to you so that you hear things directly from us, from the horse's own mouth, and to dispel some of the rumors that sometimes get out there in the public. So that is really the essence of this. And we did one in February that I thought was very, very good and very successful. So we thought that it would be good to have one more, especially after we crossed our 35th milestone. So for those who may or may not know, Databank has clocked 35 years. It's a journey that a lot of you have been on with us that we extremely appreciate. And I'd just like to let all of you know that whether you joined Databank yesterday as a client or whatever, or you joined 30 years ago, or you joined 35 years ago, whatever time it is you joined, we appreciate you. We really, really acknowledge that you've been with us through thick and thin. The last 3 years has not been easy for the industry in general. And of course, Databank being the largest firm in the industry, clearly could not escape some of the things that happened. But we are very grateful, and thank you for taking time off your schedules to also join this interaction. The next thing I would like to touch on really is the redemption payments. And I think is one of the areas that when it started all in 2022, it was a sore point. But we believe, at least at Databank, that the approach we adopted, the strategy we adopted in facing the payment, we think has helped. We want to thank the clients for the understanding, because initially it was very, very difficult getting the message across to clients that the way the demand was and the way everything was hitting all over the place, it was best to adopt a phased approach. Honestly, it was tough in the beginning with clients threatening and all that, but I believe that over the years we have come to appreciate the approach that we adopted. And in that process, you may or may not believe it, but since the whole industry crisis began or peaked around December 2022, but started in August, we have managed to pay out over 1.2 billion cedis. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. We have managed to pay out over 1.2 billion cedis through all this approach and strategy and your understanding. So as we speak today, I mean, the main area of pain is M-Fund 1. I get it. That is where the biggest delays were coming from. But M-Fund 1 fully paid from December to July 23. We have made partial payments up to April 25. And definitely anybody who requested 10,000 and below, we have fully paid you as at April 2025. And part of the approach was at a certain threshold, if we are able to, then we pay you all that you ask for. But when the amounts are so huge, you bear with us that the phased approach works. And over that period, people who even asked for 1 million and 2 million, eventually we have paid them all their money. But the lessons we learned from M-Fund 1 then got us to create M-Fund 2, which again has gone very down well with our clients. But I would like to encourage you to really, really look at M-Fund 2 and invest there. We learned a lot of lessons with what happened with the DDEP, with the mark-to-market in M-Fund 1. And I can assure you that we've taken a lot of lessons out of that, created M-Fund 2, low risk profile, The redemption cycle is consistent so far, between 3 to 5 days. The track record of the payments are timely. And then it's designed, to make it as liquid as possible. So I'll encourage all of you, if you haven't invested in mFund2, to take a look at it and then invest. Those who are also investing and were testing the waters, I think you've tested enough and you would be assured that it's a product that is really, really working and is working well with all the peace of mind that it requires. And so I'd like to also touch briefly. I mean, we always touch on our governance, and it looks like sometimes people find it difficult to understand how we are governed and structured. But just so you know that we are regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. I recall during the peak of the crisis, some people were saying Bank of Ghana should do this, Bank of Ghana should do that, Bank of Ghana. And why is Bank of Ghana doing this to this bank but not to Databank? We are not regulated by the Bank of Ghana. We are regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission because we don't do commercial banking. That's not what our license is for. Our license is for doing investment banking. It's for doing fund management, brokerage, trading, etc. So that is it. And we also have independent board members. Most of our products that mFund, ARC Fund, EPAC, B Fund, Eddie Fund, they are all companies on their own with all their independent board members. So if you check on the websites or on some of the information that we put out there, you realize that we have completely independent board members looking and having oversight of all these funds that you invest in. And of course, we also have custodian banks. I keep telling people that we don't have a license to do banking. Our license is to do fund management. So those of you who walk into our physical buildings, you see that nowadays, not so much, but you see that we even have implant banks. So some of the banks are embedded within us. The money doesn't come directly to us. The money goes to the commercial bank, and each fund has what we call a custodian bank. So the money sits with the custodian bank. We don't mix clients' money with our operational money at all. Our operational money only comes from the fees that we charge. That is all the law allows us to do, and that is what we try to abide by. So before any money is even invested, you have to issue an instruction to the custodian bank. The custodian bank will have to make sure that the instruction aligns with the law and aligns with exactly what it is that you have said that the fund is supposed to do. So we can't pick mFund2 or your, let's say even EPAC. EPAC, we have said that it will be 70% in equity. So we go to the stock exchange, buy the equities, and it's across Africa. We've said that mFund2 is on short-term fixed income products. So we cannot even issue, if we issue an instruction to the custodian bank and say, hey, take mFund2, go and buy Unilever stock on the Ghana Stock Exchange. They will not do it because that is not what mFund2 is designed to do. EPAC, yes, they will do because that one is designed. So you can't just get up, or we can't just get up and dip our hands. And besides, the SEC also comes to us very regularly to come and check the books, to come and make sure that what we are doing is correct. And like I said, because we are that large, the SEC sees us as, impacting the industry with whatever we do. So we are quite regulated, and we are regulated on a very, very regular basis. So this morning, I mean, it's really about you, the clients, to engage with us as a company so that if there are any issues in your mind, we present ourselves for you to clear. If there are any suggestions you can give to us to also mitigate some of the risks that we faced as an industry, we'll do that. We've been working with the regulator around that. But you are the clients. You know what is best for you, and you know what is good for you, so that we will take it on board. And if it's within our legal framework, definitely we'll do it. So once again, I'd like to thank you very, very much for your custom, for your confidence in us, for believing in us, for going down this journey with us. It's not been easy, but we really, really appreciate you. And we are here to take your questions and then to dispel any rumors that you may have. So, Emma, this will be my opening remarks, and I'll open the floor so that you can start taking the questions.
All right, thank you, Kojo. So please, before we open the floor, if you can also do the local dialects for me.
You know, I always forget the local dialect. Even this morning, I reminded Margaret that, oh, I'll have to do the local dialect.
Yeah.
Your movie, so your clients, so ABI, your brofuni na no mote, and crying na auntie. Yeah, me can say we are not my try say me bonnet toffer, tree, man, and your own when say, I no pay your frame and your bonnet na February mu hono. Me bibi say nhyɛ mu say ya pepepe na me tie mu asɛm na me answer questions na mo wo any ade me nya me ni yi ni na no sɛ de me ntumi yi ano no ebia mekɔ ekyire no makɔ bise ekyire na me masa be yi ano enti no be April hono na yedi 35 cry then do me ensane enum afi yedi 35 years as a company. And I assume says I say you to me assign any more yenshim. Na ye damo say money ananti achese mo enjoy mo last few me and saying abesin there. Your mama den pa and to say first chesa bind the DD pinin sem by. Now so muna what's na enchen ebinum kra afi no maba. Nti ebinum kra pon hu sene yefa ahochiri mu kakra but Mune atna and I pese ye damo ase pa in fact ye ni so na me sign e kan sikana ya mo be mo redraw ansem no so mo be kaya na enye asem keto akra tama start here no na amanfo p dia akam but ye strategy ye ya send ye aketua no send ye tuatua no kakra no ye gidi say aboa ye because dodoɔ na enya sika na make no we dey mean say na make no tree mo pepe but 1.2 billion cedis new Ghana cedis po enti say old Ghana cedis ni dey anka bebre bobroja so yetumi etua ni na nipa be 26,000 krana yetumi etua on either yetua on de omo bebisa na ana say yetua on kakra yeda so etua ne omo ni say aya aban de sika no brain August any February pe enti aya say yensa kan August na afiansa na ye behwe ne ye hu se na ye betuatua yensa nka sika bioma kopem February enti 6 months bosuminsia pe na aban etua yen e wo mu ani ahwe se ye betumi aton bond na ekita ne bia na ankwankra bi efri abrochi aba so ope bond ni bia to eno no yetumi ton a na ye betua kakra but dodoɔ na sika no dodoɔ na de free aban ho na eba na wo mutua en premium no afi bia wo mutua en premium no pe nti aban so ntua ya na sika no twe no so aye bibia wo ho but yemia ye ni etua fine etua especially one wo mu bisa be 10,000 ne below there obia as at April usaka osika ya partial payments ni bi so ekopem April li na obia obisa between December 2022 and July 2023 there yetumi etua obia na me so ka say yen no wa aban organization ehwe so no from Securities and Exchange Commission nye Bank of Ghana edru baby na amanfo confused kakra say Bank of Ghana na ehwe so ana say nye Bank of Ghana na ehwe so but yen ye de Securities and Exchange Commission na ehwe so won behwe ye krata mu ne ye books mu da anya premium de afi bia won beba mienu ana ba ku bi no ma behwe ne o mama ameki sure say me ya tro say ye de musika na be ye no saa na ye de be ye na mpese me catch mu say musika no so mo de ba ye mfamfra ye sika ye de etua ya ketua na nyoma ye no da bi ye ne saa mmra ma ho kwan nti ye de mia ye ni say ye be di mmra no so trodo because yeso ye company ne so pa na ye ne na ache so pa nti enyi wo say ye be ye bibia e be to mmra ti ye da ye mia ye ni say ye be ye nyoma pepepe ti nia anope mpese me kan say yeda mo ase mo a mo ne atena ache no yeda mo ase pa mo anso a afi na mo ne start journey ni nso yeda mo ase pa na ma sheda na mabie me ho maba say question bia na bibia eche wa adwen bia no obaba be bisa me dan say ebia ne nenam social media na yese no na me ya no amamo na bibia dadi nti me da mo ase ema enele enye ma wie gangme na shi minta oni ma danye fe shi ake nyeke wo ehie bia ne wo company e wo ye 35 years nyeke wo ehie keje na kan time me ko hu pa ko nyeba min danye shi wo lebi ne noni wo fio meeting ni ji ake nyeba bi questions ni yo nye dwemo mini egbanye na ke gbanye na mi ji chief servant ma answer questions ma force ni ma answer questions ke manye ma answer ke nye hu ma ta o answer ke later on in keba ewo no ji sane le bi ne ni ke no ko ni o ta no bi mi yen bi ni yen bi mi yen la don Emma
Yes, Kojo. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll open the floor for you to ask all the questions you may have. Please feel free to ask in any language. Our CEO is a multi-talented person. He can speak all the languages apart from Hausa. So feel free and then do that. So to begin with, Esther Efwa Jamidu. Sorry if I did not pronounce the last word name correctly. Please, you can come up.
Okay, good morning. Please, I would like to ask the CEO this question. About the haircut. Is it like 2 years or so? Some of us we lost some part of funds. What will be done about that, or what's being done about that? Please, that's my question.
Okay, thank you. Emma, I would like to answer the questions one after the other. If I take it as a bulk, I'll miss out. So thank you for your question. So what, as I try to explain, what happened in August of 2022 was that the regulator, Securities and Exchange Commission, or let me say the government, came up with a directive that with immediate effect, all our bonds that we're holding, the government of Ghana bonds, will now be what they called mark to market. Before that, we were holding the security or the bond to maturity. So the value that we bought it is what it will stay throughout. But with that directive that came, what happened was that the bond that we are holding, let's say you came and bought a bond, or we bought a bond on your behalf, it was 100 cedis. So the value was 100 cedis. But then on the market price itself, just like you buy tomato one day and then the price goes down, the prices started going down when the mark-to-market directive was issued. So a bond that was originally, say, 100 suddenly became 60, suddenly became 80. That is what happened. So it is a market price. So if you came and you wanted your money at that material time, then we are going to sell that product on the market. And when we go, what they gave us is what we can give you. If they don't give us the full value, we can't give you the full value. So that is what actually happened. So some of the prices recovered, some didn't. But if at the time you came for your money, the value was 60, then that is how much we'll be able to give you. It was not a deliberate thing by Databank that we decided to do, but it was a government directive that we had to follow.
All right. Thank you, Kojo. All right, Ni Adute. Hello, Ni.
Yes, hello. Am
Please
I
go
being
ahead.
okay? Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for your presentation. I have uh, I think two questions, maybe some maybe suggestions also. Yeah, but the first one, you mentioned that I see someone even has asked about withdrawing from your M Fund 1 to M Fund 2. My point is, my question is if we are going to even follow suit, if that is possible, and you have indicated in the chat that it's possible, but if you are going to follow suit, is that going to be against the mark-to-market value? So we are withdrawing from one mark-to-market value to enter into another mark-to-market value, or what is that? What I just want to understand how that process is going to be like. Is it going to be the exact amount that I have from my M Fund 1 going to M Fund 2, or it's going to be a mark-to-market value amount moving to M Fund 2, which is also scaled at a mark-to-market value amount, or vice versa. I don't know which one it is. But
Okay.
if it's clear, that's fine. Then the second one has to do with the fund management. I think you said you're a fund management and not a bank, which is okay. But it looks more like most of the time the funds become static. When I say static, I have not really been how like investing for a while because of all this market thing that started. So my money had stayed, and for a while now, you see the money stayed as it is. It has not appreciated. It's rather depreciating because of the market. But at least there should be some appreciation if it is an investment. If over the years I have put in this money down, and maybe for some reason I don't even have money at all to even add up or top up. At least if it's an investment and it's a fund management, as you want me to believe it is, which is okay, I should see some improvement in my investment so far that is with you. But it looks more like if I should even sit side by side and do my calculations, my money is almost up to the same as what it is. So I really am not seeing the connection between the fund management and or it's reflecting in my investments as I have with you. So I don't know if you can say something about it, or there's nothing going to be done about it, and what will be the next steps for me if I have to take one. Thank you.
Yeah, Addae, thank you very, very much for your question. So, if you want to move your funds from M Fund 1 to M Fund 2 or to any other fund for that matter, you could move it to B Fund or EPAC or ARC Fund, whichever one you would want to move it. We would treat it as a normal withdrawal. And so, again, we will have for the M Fund 1, we would have to go to the market if it is to sell the security at whatever market price there is. So as for M Fund 1 and all our other funds, you see, it's just that traditionally in Ghana, we had always used, I'm trying not to use too many technical jargons, but we have always used the amortized approach for our treasuries and our bonds. But those who invest in EPAC or ARC Fund, or those who invest in stocks, are already experiencing this mark-to-market thing. So it was a completely new thing and a shock to our industry and the system, using mark-to-market for fixed income products. So like you said, you've always known that when you do an investment, especially fixed income, like a bond, you will expect that the price should not be coming down. It should be going up. That was how we were valuing the assets. But with the directive, it had to move according to it had to move according to what the market was offering. So sometimes it will go up, sometimes it will go down. If you have been an EPAC client, you will realize that there are years that EPAC even gives a negative return. But these last 2 years, EPAC has performed phenomenally. I mean, it's been a fantastic return, but it moves according to how the market is reacting. So if you want to move it from M Fund 1 to M Fund 2, at the time of the sale of M Fund 1, we are definitely going to sell it at the mark-to-market price. Then we move it to M Fund 2. Like I said, we've learned some lessons out of the long-term bond investments we did in M Fund 1. So currently M Fund 2 is all short-term. So it's currently all short-term investment. So we do not mark Fund 2 to market because it is short-term in nature, 0 to under 1 year. All the investments are under 1 year. So we currently do not mark Fund 2 to market, but Fund 1 will still continue to be marked to market. Hopefully, by the time the instruments mature, it will be restored to its face value. But until then, it's the market price.
Thank you very much, Kojo.
Oh,
All
and
right.
the fund management part. Sorry.
Oh, you said the fund. Oh, being the static part.
Yes.
But because the fund manager is actively managing the fund. They are not just sitting there doing nothing. The fund is very, very actively being managed. Now, when the secondary market was very active before DDEP and bonds were being sold and bought and all that, the fund manager will actively ensure that the return is positive. And like I said, they've done some, if you go to EPAC, some great work has been done in the last 2 years, even B Fund. But unfortunately for M Fund 1 specifically, which is the fixed income fund, it has been a very difficult situation. You know, the bonds are to mature in 2027. So to get a buyer to buy it at the higher price is a very difficult one. But I can assure you, Ni, they are not sitting idle. The fund managers are going internationally even to try and get people who would have the appetite for our bonds for now and have the patience to wait for the bonds to be matured. So I will not entirely agree with you if you think that the funds are not being actively managed because you are not seeing the direction in which it's going. But there are other funds that I can assure you that they've gone very positive. And Fund 1 has its peculiar situation that has the DDEP has impacted greatly. But even then, I know that some of the prices have recovered. I mean, it went as low as 60, but I know it recovered to somewhere 80. I don't know. The fund managers can correct me if I'm wrong, but some recovery has happened on those ones.
Right. Thank you, Kojo, for those responses. All right. So Nafui Arimu, yes, please, you are up next. Hello, Nafui. Please, you can unmute.
Okay, please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Okay, thank you very much. We are highly impressed with the constant updates from management of Databank, and we believe it will continue like that. We, those who did our redemption in 2023, we still have some outstanding balance that needs to be paid. So we wanted to find out what is the plan for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Nafui. I think in my presentation, I did say that up to July 2023, full payments have been done. So between 2023 July to date, is most if your original request was above 10,000, it's likely that you've received partial payments. We normally get coupon payments in August and February. So when the coupon payment comes, we look at how much government has given us. We look at how much the demand for redemptions is. And then we structure something so that everybody gets something at least. And not that we put everything into one person's pot. So if I promise you, and then in between, we try and sell some of the bonds so that we can pay in between. But when you are selling, you have to also sell at a price that does not negatively impact the price of the fund in its entirety. So it's always very, very, very difficult to give you exact times. There are people who have come and within 3 weeks or a month, coupon came and they were able to get. There are others too who, at the time they put in their request, it has taken such a long time. But our next coupon is in August. That is when I can assure that some money would have come, and then we sit down and look to how we clear the outstanding. So, Nafui, please bear with us. We do our best to try and touch as many people as possible. And that's the approach we have. So our next coupon is expected in August. But before then, we'll try and sell some bonds to raise some money. We always try and raise some money in between. So because 6 months is a long time. Thank you, Nafu.
Thank you, Kojo. So before Priscilla comes, there's a question in the Q&A that is asking, when will the market value be taken away so that it encourages them to invest more? It's scaring them to invest. So maybe I'll have to ask this on behalf of the client. Maybe someone on the queue will also ask the same thing.
I'm telling this client not to be afraid and encouraging the client to go and invest in MFund 2 because I'll reiterate that we've learned a lot of lessons from the MFund 1 situation. It's not like it's theoretically a bad thing. I mean, there are some people who will like that risk, but please don't, because of the MFund 1 story, don't stop investing. We've created MFund 2, low risk, good turnover, good redemption cycle, 3 to 5 days. I know some people come and even test the waters. If you don't mind, you come and test the waters. You see that what we are saying is true, and then you can continue investing. Let's not let what has happened in MFund 1 scare us to the point where we don't put anything aside for the future. As for something aside for the future, you always need to do that. And that's why we have created MFund 2. And the others are there. There's EPAC, there's BFund, there's ACFund. They are all available, also options for us to invest in.
Right, Kojo. Thank you very much. All right, Priscilla, please, you are on the floor.
Okay, so good morning. Thank you, Kojo, for the presentation. Can I be heard?
Yes.
Okay, so I have an investment in the MFund 1, the previous one.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it would take, for you to move it to the new MFund, it would take like, it would look like a redemption sort of, so it would take like 6 months, right? So it means that if I should put in a request to move it from the current state to the new state, it will still be effective until after 6 months when you have money to move the funds. Is that true?
Yes, Priscilla, technically it's true because the certainty I have about getting money is from government coupon. That is the certainty I have. So August and February, I am certain that I will get money. But there are people who also, I mean, there are people who put in a request, say, in July, and then August something came, and because maybe their demand was not that high, they were able to get what they wanted. So the certainty we can give you is that August and February. But in between, when we get funds, we are able to also move. Okay, but it will not be wise on our part to give you a promise that we can't really fulfill when we know government will only come and pay us money in August and February. And even then, if the money is not enough to cover all the demand, then that's when we have to look at the partial strategy that we've adopted that we think has worked quite well. Because if the demand is less than what government pays us, that one will gladly pay everybody happily. So that is true, Priscilla.
Okay, I get that bit. But so it means that I didn't stand to get anything until I decide to do a new investment in the MFund 2. Is that it? Because it means that I can't move my old funds up till 6 months when you have your money available. And so I have to start a new investment with a new funds. Is that true?
If you have extra money coming in, I would recommend that you start. In fact, we don't even put the money in MFund 1. We don't put new money in MFund 1 because of the situation we are in until such time that the whole issue is resolved. But I will recommend that if you have plans of putting some money in MFund 2, you put in your request now so that we can put it in the database and you are there. It's not like you wait. You hear that August coupon will be paid, then 1st August before you put in the request. That will could present a challenge. So if you have ambition to put some money in MFund 2, you could put in the request now so that we put you in the database. And then when government pays, we are able to transfer the money for you. But if you have any extra income that you are desirous of investing, I would encourage you that you come and put it in M Fund 2 now.
Okay. Thank you very much,
My
Kojo.
pleasure.
I'll go to the branch and ask you
I will
questions.
be very grateful.
Thanks.
Where are you? Are you in Accra or which part of Ghana are you,
Oh,
Priscilla?
I'm in Tema.
Oh, you're in Tema. Okay,
Yes.
that's
And
good. Thank you.
unfortunately, when we get to the Tema branch, the staff are not available and all that. So I'll
Oh,
either send an email or something and then we take it from there.
really? Okay, I'll check why they are not available.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Priscilla. So, Priscilla, I'll give you an RM to attend to you this morning. Okay, you can kindly put your contact in the chat. We'll call you after the meeting. Thank you so much. Hello, George Christ.
Oh,
Hi, George.
hello. Hello.
Yes. Hello,
Yes.
George.
Hi. Am I audible? Hello.
Kindly go ahead.
Yes, we can hear
Oh,
you.
all right. Good morning to you and thank you for this opportunity. Um Kojo keeps reiterating the fact that lessons have been learned from the M Fund 1. And so now going to M Fund 2, things will be done differently. And so I want to know with my little knowledge in investment, I know that M Fund as a money market investment, you invest more in T bills and then commercial papers and certificates of deposits. Yes. So I want to know if Kojo says things will be done differently in M2, what exactly does it mean? Where are we going? Where are investors' funds going to be invested in M2? That will give us the assurance that we will not go through this situation again.
George, that's a brilliant question. Your face looks familiar. I don't know if I know you somewhere, but
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we met
Okay, so
sometime in Atlanta Hotel.
yeah. Anyway, so what happened was if you will, I don't know how long you've been with Databank, but M Fund 1 was originally a money market fund. But at that time, we didn't have a vibrant fixed income secondary market. Bonds were not being issued long term and the like. Then it's the government started issuing long-term bonds. So we started getting 15-year-old bonds. We started getting 10-year-old bonds. I think even a 30-year-old bond was issued. I stand corrected. But then the secondary market then became vibrant where the bonds were being traded and liquidity was high. So M Fund 1 was then we went for an emergency general meeting and went to change the mandate of M Fund 1 to a fixed income fund and no more a money market fund to take advantage of the long-term bonds that were being issued because then the returns were better, liquidity was good, everything was working nice until we hit the snag that we hit. So the lesson there was we always had to have a good mix of short-term funds together with some of the long-term funds to cater for liquidity. Look, it's the same clients who came jumping on us to say we are not investing enough in the long-term bonds at AGMs and chastising us and all that. And then we increased our exposure to the long-term funds and we are where we are. But at M Fund 2, like I said, it is all short-term. We have not put any money whatsoever in any long-term paper. So the liquidity is very high there. And that's what I mean by we are doing things differently. So by the time maybe this M Fund 1 story is resolved, George, we will then have both the opportunity of a money market fund and a long-term fixed income fund. Whereas at first, we drove ourselves out of the money market into a full fixed income. So that's what I mean by the comfort that we have now.
All right. So Kojo, if I may do a follow-up. So what is the current annualized yield for the M Fund? I don't know the interest rate or something. I know the T-bill 91 days around hovering around 15%. What is the current rate for the M fund? I mean the M fund too.
Divina, can you help me? I don't have the figure on top of my head.
Hello, Kojo. Yes. So currently M2's return or year-to-date return is 7.05. But if we were to analyze that return for a 12 months period, it should be anywhere around 19.2%. But bear in mind that investment rates keep changing. So by the next 12 months, you may or may not get the exact 19.2% I just indicated. But currently, year to date is 7.05. So if you had invested from January to now, you would have made 7.05% return.
Wow,
Thank you
that's
very
quite
much.
okay. All right. Okay. So could you lastly, my last question is: so if now I want to invest in M Fund 2, do I have to open a new account, or my existing account will be
Your
transferred
existing
into M Fund?
account is enough. Your existing account is enough. We've created MFund 2 for everybody who has MFund 1 by default.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, George. Please, the next person, forgive me if I mess up with your name. Okay, so he's gone back. All right. So Nathaniel Tete, kindly unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Nathaniel. Please go ahead.
I want to say that was a brilliant submission by Kojo, but I want to ask this simple question, although I'm new to investments. So I'm investing in the Databank housing account, and I realized my account has been slashed into two, as in it has been divided into two. I have the Databank housing fund and also the fund two. So I just want to ask a simple question. I want to know if the Databank housing fund, if it's a fund one type of investment, and if so, why can't you guys move that into fund two? I don't really understand, but I want to get a clear understanding of that. I don't know if my question is clear.
Your question is very clear, and I don't know if my team members can help me, but MFund, the DHA was modeled around MFund 1. So when MFund 1's issues came up, I won't pretend to know everything that we are doing, but your recommendation to look at linking it to MFund 2 is well received. Emma, I don't think we did that, did we?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, so I think, Nathaniel, your recommendation to link DHA to MFund 2 is well received, and we'll take a look at it. But it was originally wrapped around MFund 1, and that's how come you've seen the pause. Because we are not accepting any funds into MFund 1 right now.
Fund one, yeah, I was told that, so I just wanted to find out.
Yes, but I hear you loud and clear, and we'll come back to that.
Okay, so lastly, so when I joined the housing accounting, so at maturity I'll be receiving some. I've forgotten the figure, but is it possible for me to revise the figure and increase the payments? Is it possible?
Yes, but I think because we linked it to MFund 1, we put a hold on it all. So I would like to sit with the team to see how best we revive the DHA and link it to MFund 2, so that those of you who still want to get your targets, we don't deny you that opportunity. I think it's a brilliant question that you have asked. We'll take it up.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
Yes, Patience Lamptey. Patience Lamptey, you can unmute yourself and...
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning.
Hi.
Hi. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. So my issue has to do with the mark to market value. because I don't know, but I think per the submission or what I've heard so far is like that is what Databank is, using currently. So I want to find out what, because with the mark to market value, I save, and then at the end of the day, if I'm coming for maybe partial withdrawal or something, then the value of my money, is reduced. So I want to find out, why don't we go by the amortized value, which is a bit, over there we know the risk is a bit lesser than that of the mark to market value. If you can clarify that for me, I'll be glad. And then the second point is also that I don't know, but I don't get a statement. I have other investments in some other institutions. Almost every month I get updates on what is happening in the accounts. And also I have the opportunity direct from accounts, I can top up and things, but I have not seen that. Probably it is me. I don't know of others. I haven't seen that with Databank. Any response to that? Thank you.
Okay, Patience. First of all, apologies for the statement situation. You can, if possible, you can drop your contact in the chat. The team will get in touch with you. But have you registered for our USSD on *6100 hash? Are you on *6100 hash?
No, not that I remember.
Okay, so it will be good to go and register on *6100 hash. *6100 hash. You'll be able to check your balance and do top up and do transfer, everything you want to do. Yes, please. Who is calling me? Right.
I'm losing you.
Yes, Patience. So please register on the *6100 hash, and you'll be able to do everything that you want to do in the comfort of your home. But apologies for the statement bit. If you put your details too in the chat, the team will get in touch with you and sort that part out. On the mark to market, it's not our fault or our doing. It is what the law is now requiring. So much as we would have loved to offer the amortized rates to everybody, the law has changed, and we are all now required to use the mark to market. So we can't go against the law, unfortunately. So that is why it's not only us using mark to market. You say you have investments in other places. I don't know what type of investment they are doing, but I want to believe that everybody is using the mark to market valuation now.
Okay, because I don't actually know, but for the monthly statement I've been receiving from my other investment institution, it is the amortized. So at least the interest is a bit encouraging. You understand?
Okay.
The mark to market, yeah.
Let's not belabor this. We can send, look, I think we were doing that, but we stopped because of the regulator. We can send you an amortized value. You can see your amortized value, but if you put in a redemption request, once you put in a redemption request, exactly. So that's the
so Kojo, for how long are we going to endure this kind of thing? Because it's not easy for us to, you will save. We have to invest. That is encouragement to you people always give us. You invest, and then at the end of the day, you want to withdraw your investment, and then your hair is cut. So till when would this thing be over? Because some of us, we are discouraged, about putting our money into investment, because at the end of the day, what do we gain?
Patience, you are very right.
So till when?
Okay. For the current portfolio, the new money, like we've explained, we are putting it in short-term instruments so that we don't experience this harsh mark-to-market situation. But for the old existing portfolio, it is still the maturity date that the government gave. So there are two bonds in our portfolio. We have the 2027 bond and then the 2028 bond. It is possible that if the macroeconomic indicators change, the government can bring it forward to 2025 or 26. They could do that. The same way somebody pushed it to 27, somebody can push it forward. So in theory, it is the first one, the round will be in 2027. Then all the papers would have matured and you will be given back our, let's use the balance we understand, our principal. So when that happens, then we have the money to decide what it is that we are going to do. But let's not forget that the fact that bonds are now doing mark to market is not entirely a very bad thing. If you have a very active fixed income market, then you can be monitoring, just like people monitor stock prices. When it goes up or down, you can buy cheap and sell expensive. So it depends on your risk appetite. Clearly, patients, you and I are the same. We don't have that kind of risk appetite. So we'll keep to the short-term money market end. But this issue, in theory, should be ending in the when the bonds mature, which is 27 and 28.
All right, thank you, Kojo. So before Alex comes, there's a message in the chat I want to read out from Amortized. Please, I know well Databank is an investment bank, but is there a way you could create a savings account that a client could save within a period of time before investing? And if the time stipulated is due, perhaps based on the terms, the bank will invest the savings in the fund that best suits the client. So could you this is from Ameto in the chat?
Okay. No, we can't create a savings account like in any commercial bank because we do not have the license to do that. We are not licensed to do that. But I don't know why you even want to create a savings account and put some money there before you invest. All you need is 50 cedis to start investing in our product. So I don't want to think that saving 50 cedis is so prohibitive. You can start investing anytime. So and you don't have to gather all the money. Sometimes people think you have to get up to maybe 1,000 or 5,000 before you can come and invest. Not with us. You can invest as small as 50 cedis anytime, and just anytime you get money. You don't have to wait for the end of the month or end of the quarter. Any day, anytime you have money, is available for you to put some money in there. So you don't necessarily have to have a savings account first before you start your investment. You can start right away.
Right. Okay, so we still have a number of hands up. Please,
Yes.
until you get to your turn, you can quickly type in your question in the chat. We have a team of professionals responding to your questions. So we want to answer everybody. So please, from the bottom, you can start putting in your question in the chat until you get to your turn. All right, Alexander Asante.
Hi, good morning, Kojo and Emma. All right,
Good morning,
so
Alex.
I place a redemption on my fund, that's M1, yeah. But even after I place a redemption request, I noticed that the balance was still accruing interest because I was checking it almost every now and then using the mobile app. But when my account was being credited, I got the balance as at the time I placed the redemption. So I just want to find out what happens to the interest that accrue from the time I placed in the redemption request and the time that I was paid.
Okay. So, in spite of all the challenges, M Fund 1 still has an asset. And like we said, the asset is valued every day. And we all say that it's experienced, especially like patients were saying, they experience heavy haircuts. But sometimes too, depending on the direction of the market, it recovers. So there are some days that you see your price going up, and there are days that it could come down. And you are right, we will give you the value of the money at the time of your redemption. But it doesn't mean that what accrued does still not belong to you. I don't know if you've checked your balance thereafter, but every day your portfolio is revalued every day. So those of you who check, I know some of you check every day, you see that the prices change daily, and depending on the number of units or shares you have, then the value of your investment also changes. So it's still to your credit.
All right, thanks, Kojo. But in this particular instance, let's say I had 15,000 at the time of redemption. I think I got a partial amount of that, and then I reached out to the client service team, and they were saying the balance will be paid. So although the balance will be paid, it will still sum up to the amount I had at the time of the redemption. That's when I placed in the redemption, and not after. But here is the case after placing. So let's say using the 15,000 as an example, I placed a redemption last month, which was 15,000. Post that, I have seen that the balance has grown up to, let's say, 20,000. But here is the case, and when I'm being paid, I'm not going to be paid at the time of payment, which was, let's say, the 20,000, but still will be paid as at the 15,000.
Yes. So you'll be paid the request that you made. So if you were being paid partial, maybe the first round you'll be paid 10,000. Then you are left with 5,000. The second round you'll be paid 5,000. Then whatever balance is to your name still remains. I don't know if
Okay. So let's say using the same 15,000 as an example, assuming as at the time the final payment was done, I have, let's say, there's accrued interest of, let's say, 2,000. That 2,000 will still remain in my name in the fund.
Correct.
Okay.
Hey, fund managers, if I'm wrong, correct me, but I think I'm not wrong. I think I'm correct. Yes, that's the situation, Alex.
Okay.
And that's why I said, if you like, check your balance again.
Okay, sure. But so what do I do if I want to transfer the funds to M Fund 2, since M Fund 1 is no longer accepting
The extra one or the one that is waiting?
No, the extra.
You put in another redemption request and indicate where you want the money to go.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. Thank you very much for your explanation.
My pleasure.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. All right. So, Michael, you are up, and then I'll pick some questions from the chat. Hello, Michael. Michael. Okay, so Michael, kindly fix your microphone and then come back. So, Juliana, if you are ready, please, you are next.
Okay, good morning. The first thing is just a statement. I just want to say that it is unfair to the customers, because at the point of investment.
Sorry, Juliana, can you start again? Your voice is very low. I can't hear you.
Please, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said the first one I want to make is just a statement. And I just want to say that it is unfair to customers that at the point of investment, we were not told about any mark-to-market value. And then in the middle of the investment, you come up with mark-to-market value that is reducing the money that needs to be paid to the customers. I think it is very unfair because from the onset, we were not told about any mark-to-market value. So why in the middle of it, where we cannot do anything about it, our hands are tied, we are made to stomach market-to-market value? I will forever hold this against Databank and the past government. It is very unfair. The second one is a question that you tell us that when we were coming to invest in the M Fund, which you now call M Fund 1, we were told redemption will take 3 days. Was it 48 hours or so? That's 2 days, which was 2 days until it became 1 year and 2 years. Now you are encouraging us to invest in the M Fund too. What is the guarantee that now that M Fund 2 redemption days is 3 to 5 days, you will not come back later and tell us, oh, the regulator says A and B, so now your redemption can take up to forever. And the painful part is you don't have a date. So we are liquid. So we are liquid. So what is the guarantee now that you are encouraging us to invest in infant too? What is the guarantee that you not come back to tell us that now redemption days you cannot tell when you can get your money?
Okay, Juliana, thank you very much. I share your sentiments and I understand how it is you feel. Trust me, I understand how you feel, because when you were coming in, or when we were all starting M Fund, there was also no law called mark to market. So there was no way we could also tell you that, oh, the thing is mark to market. Whatever happens, we don't operate in a vacuum. We operate under a law. We operate under a regulator. I won't fault you for saying that you blame us, but we didn't create the law. We were doing what we were doing. We were getting your money in 2 days. The value was as it was until the law changed. Laws change everywhere, but I won't hold brief for us or anything. We work in a certain regulated environment, and at least, thankfully, we put money in a legitimate place, as in we put money in government of Ghana, and we didn't go and put it in some strange asset or investment that now the money crowded and it won't come at all. So at least we've followed the law. We've put it in a regulated entity, but unfortunately, the regulator changed the laws of the game. Now, to guarantee on MFund 2, there's no investment in the world anywhere that has no risk. In fact, the regulator warns us that don't use the word guarantee. But at least we are able to explain to you that this is where the funds are sitting. This is where the funds are sitting. The probability of default is at this low, is very, very, very low. If you read our annual reports, we are one of the few, and I used to have a problem with the SEC, that we are one of the few companies that publish fully where we have invested the monies. There are some people, you won't even know where they've gone and put their monies. We are very transparent and open. So if you pick the report, you see this percentage is in bank fixed deposit, this percentage is in treasury bill, this percentage, like George was saying, maybe this percentage is in some commercial paper. It is very clear. But as for a risk, it can't be zero. We used to be told that government bonds was risk-free. It was zero risk.
Exactly.
Yeah, but now the theory has changed. We learned it in
So
school.
don't encourage us to come and invest in M Fund too. Just say
Juliana,
that if you want to invest, come and invest. Don't encourage us then.
okay.
Because you will be nowhere to be found when we start facing the difficulties.
But
and
I'm
you put
here.
everything on the regulator.
I'm here. I'm here. I don't run away and gone anywhere. I'm here. I'm talking to you. I didn't dodge. I'm here talking to you. I won't run away. I won't do anything against the law. So I won't run away. I'm here. So
You see, we don't know any Security and Exchange Commission. We only know Databank. So when we are facing the problems and everything is blamed on Security and Exchange Commission, it's become frustrating because we don't have contracts with them. We don't know them. We only came to Databank.
Okay. I hear you, Juliana. Your point is well taken.
Thank you, sir.
Good faith. Thank you.
Right. This is getting interesting and interactive. So let me pick this interesting question. Maybe that will be of an interest to those with their hands up as well. So from the chat, someone is asking, what is the future of Databank? There are claims of Databank being closed. Please tell us the truth. Should we believe it or not?
Okay, I mean we hear all these rumors all the time, and that's why I try to harp on the fact that we work in tandem with the law and work with the regulator as much as possible. Of course, nobody is infallible, but we have the regulator checking our books and checking whether we are doing the right thing all the time. All the time. And sometimes I can even spend an hour trying to explain how we are governed and all. In the beginning, I tried to allude to it, but I even would let us say in the most unlikely event that the asset manager, we are separate from, let's use M Fund. So M Fund is managed by Databank Asset Management Limited. So that is a company on its own, registered on its own, with its own board of directors, everything. We are managing M Fund PLC, which is also, technically speaking, even though it's a product, it's a company on its own, with its own board of directors, with its own regulator and everything. And I've said again that the money is run and handled by a custodian. So let's, for theoretical sake, say that Databank Asset Management has been shut down. Boom, it's gone. The money is still sitting in the custody of M Fund's custodian. The assets have been invested in certain asset classes. In M Fund 1's case, let's say in Government of Ghana bonds, it's 100% Government of Ghana bonds. The bonds exist. They are there. They will mature. When they mature, it is the responsibility of both the regulator and the M Fund board to make sure that anybody who invested in it and the records are there, the money comes back to them on maturity. So the structure, the way the structure is, the way the regulator has governed us, it is very, very difficult for the clients to, if the investor put the money in the right thing. Like I was trying to explain to Juliana, that we went and invested in Government of Ghana securities. We didn't take an unnecessary risk and maybe invested in some real estate that then went belly up and then it crashes. Then that one day it's gone. The money is gone forever. But where it is sitting, it's a legal relevant asset that in the unlikely event that the asset manager, the fund manager, let's say we are no more, the fund exists. The fund will still be there. The assets of the fund will be there. So always look at who is regulating what. As for those rumors, we've been getting them for some years now. It is understandable, no problem. But as much as possible, we would like to do things according to the law. That way, if anybody wants to do anything, they come in, they check the books. If everything is okay, everything is okay. And they come and check our books very often. We are one of the most audited firms in the industry.
Good to hear, Kojo. So Stephen Sapon is asking, for M Fund 1, if I were to make a redemption request after 2028, can I expect the full amortized value?
So yes, in theory, if the government pays us all back, then that is the answer. Yes, you will get it, because we will then also get the full face value of the bond, unless government comes to tell us some story. But if we get a full face value of the bond, the money then comes to sit with us. And once it's in the cash mode and you ask for your request, that will be given to you.
Right. Okay. So Kojo, let me take some few questions, one or two from the bottom. So at least I give everybody the chance to ask a question. So Ali Akufu, kindly ask your question quickly.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you now. Yes.
Someone previously asked a question concerning the DHA account, that's Databank Housing.
And anytime you check your account, you see MFund 2 and DHA. So I'm asking, when the person asked the question, Kojo explained the DHA but didn't explain MFund 2. So I'm confused. Is it that MFund 2 is not linked to DHA is not linked to MFund 2? I don't really get the whole thing. If he can clearly explain that for us.
Yes, Ali, that is the point I made, that we haven't linked the MFund 2 to DHA like we did when we originally did MFund 1. I mean, because of all that was happening. But I acknowledged, I think it was Nathaniel Tete, I acknowledged him and said it was a good point he was making, and we'll go back to the team to look at it, because it looks like it's something that people are still looking at. So yeah, Ali, we will definitely look at that.
But I'm asking because I have DHA account, and if I'm checking my balance, it gives me an amount in MFund 2, and I have another amount in MFund 2, and that in DHA. So correct. I'm a bit confused.
For now, they are separate.
So does it mean anytime I invest my money, it goes to MFund 2, or there is another money in DHA account and there's another money in MFund 2? I'm confused.
It's going to MFund 2 right now. Don't be confused. But, you know, it's a very important point that you are raising around DHA. And I'm saying that we go back and look at the DHA.
Previously, the money I invest was in MFund 1. That is DHA.
Yes.
But now, any money I pay automatically goes to MFund 2. That's correct. Why if I'm checking balance, I have those two things coming.
That's correct.
Oh, okay. So that's correct. What if I okay. I'm fine.
Yeah. But it's a point that is relevant. We have to go and look at it.
So that if it will be possible, if those of us who wants to move our money from the MFund 1 with the DHA to MFund 2, then we do it.
That's it. Yeah, that's the point that was being made. So we'll look at it. It's a relevant point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And please, if I have MFund, not DHA, MFund 1, and I want to move it to MFund 2, how do I go about it, please?
Like I explained earlier, it is also a normal redemption request. It will just be treated like the normal MFund request. And so you indicate that when the money comes, it should be put in MFund 2. So it will just join the queue.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. Okay, so looking at the time, we wouldn't want to keep you waiting for long on this call. So kindly put in your question in the Q&A box, and we'll answer you before we close the section. So I would like Kojo, if I'm permitted, if we can pause with the questions, and then you come in with the closing remarks with a summary of all that we've discussed, and then maybe stress again on the MFund 2. Then we can call it a morning.
Honestly, this has been very, very, very interactive. I appreciate everybody's comments, questions, suggestions. I mean, clearly we have to be doing this more and more often. At least this year, at half year, we've done 2. So I believe that in the second half of the year, I'm going to do more. But please do not wait for this interaction. You can always reach out to us. Our phone number 0302-610-610. If you haven't registered for the USSD, I'll encourage that you register on our *6100 hash. We have branches across in Ghana, in Accra, Cape Coast, Kumasi, Koforidua, Takoradi, Tema, Tamale, Ho, Sunyani, Wa, and Takwa. We have our partner banks: Access, CBG, GCB, GT, UBA, Zenith. You can visit us online on our Databank website. I mean, we believe we are quite reachable. So please don't wait for this interaction. But just to reiterate that we are here available, we are here to to address your concerns. We are here to answer any questions that you may have. If you hear anything out there, please come to us and let us answer you. But Juliana says I shouldn't encourage people to invest in M-Fund2, but I should say just invest in M-Fund2, because tomorrow the government will change their mouth, and then we too, we are changing our mouth. But that said, I mean, we are working as much as possible to keep liquidity at its highest peak and to reduce the risk more and more. I mean, it's still a fact that it's very difficult to think of anything safer than a government of Ghana security, theoretically, even though we can't say zero risk. But I'll still say that our products are all available for you to consider and invest in, because whatever it is, the future will come. This period will pass. And once it passes and things are getting better, you would then realize that when it was tight, you still should have put something aside, no matter how small it is. We've seen some people who have reduced their direct debits, but it's okay as long as you are investing something that is good for you and for the future. So once again, I would like to really thank you, our clients. You are our very, very, very valued clients. Without you, we can't survive. Without you, we can't survive. And so we all need each other to keep us going and to keep Ghana forward. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you so much, Kojo. Thank you so much for having this section with us. So to add up to what Kojo just said, kindly make good use of our direct debits. At the comfort of your home, we'll just be debiting your account to fund your investment for you. So anytime you visit any of our branches, ask for a direct debit form to start this journey. And then again, we can never stop investing because money is key and everybody wants money. So money is certainly one of the ways we can turn our dreams we have into reality. And one thing is for sure, you either use it or it uses you. You either master money or on some level, money masters you. So let your money work for you by investing wisely. I can say, but we learn from the past, we learn from our mistakes, and we do better. Let's keep investing for our future and for our generation. Thank you so much for joining our call. So before we close, we'll call Kafri Group of Pensions to pray us out. Kafri.
Okay, thank you very much. Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing this meeting to a successful close. As we part ways, we ask for your continued blessing upon the work of our hands. May our efforts yield fruitful results, and may you guide us to fulfill our responsibilities with diligence and integrity, all to the glory of your name. In Jesus' name have we prayed with thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen. And thank you, everyone. Have a blessed Wednesday and enjoy the rest of the week. So we meet again. Bye bye.